And joining us now in a one-on-one interview is U.S. Senator Alex Padilla, who's in town to support immigrants in their court proceedings here in San Diego. We want to thank you for being here, Senator, for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me. And let me just off the top say how heartbroken we all are and should be about the news out of Dallas this morning. Violence, political violence, has no place in America, whether it's from the left or the right. We all denounce it. We deserve better. We're better than this.
Yeah, for sure. And this just comes a couple of weeks after the Charlie Kirk assassination. So what do you make generally, again, of the political climate that we have now in America, and how do we solve it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think after the killing of Charlie Kirk, I was encouraged because I saw an outpouring of denouncing that violence from across the political spectrum for the most part, right? Sadly, the person who could set the biggest example in America of uniting behind a calling for diffusing political tensions, the President of the United States, he did not take that track. He could have, he should have, but I think by and large, colleagues on the Republican side of the aisle, my colleagues on the Democratic side of the aisle, we all want to just lower the temperature, let's calm the tensions, and be more constructive in our disagreements and our differences.
I do want to get to your trip here in San Diego. I know that you visited the federal courthouse downtown today. Talk to us a little bit about what you were doing there.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I'm not just the senior senator from California. I'm a member of the Judiciary Committee, and I serve as the ranking member, the top Democrat on the Immigration Subcommittee. So in that role, I came to the Immigration Courthouse here in San Diego just to observe the proceedings, right? It's been in the news a lot. It's not just the raids and the detentions and the arrests, but even either due process or lack thereof for people in front of the immigration judges. What I saw today, for once, there was not a ton of fireworks in real time, but I did see a very inefficient process. And in the context of this administration's efforts to dismiss a lot of immigration judges, right? There's a big backlog. There's long wait times, and the proceedings seem to be too rushed at times. We need more immigration judges and support staff, not fewer. And now there's this notion that, well, let's redirect some attorneys out of the military, out of the Department of Defense, to backfill what immigration judges do. They don't have the background, they don't have the training. And so when you undermine due process, you undermine our rule of law as a country. So with these budget negotiations in front of us, I'm bringing back the message we should be doing more, not less, to support the immigration court system to give people fair hearings on a timely basis.
You heard us talk about Tom Homan and this Democratic investigation that's going on. How should lawmakers respond to what's going on there, and what could it mean for Homeland Security, in your opinion?
Look, huge red flags when FBI agents say, we have it on tape, right? Tom Homan isn't just anybody. He's clearly a government official, a key member of the Trump administration who, now that we stop and think about it, he was not nominated to a position that requires Senate confirmation. So he skirted the review and confirmation process of the Senate. If this is true, there's a lot of questions. Why are they sweeping it under the rug? So if the video exists, yes, the House has requested that video. I'm joining my colleagues on the Senate side to request the video and any other records for this investigation, which is clearly warranted.
Okay. The other big story that we've been covering for some time, you are leading the charge to fight back against President Trump's redistricting plan. I know you've been on the record saying that redistricting only should happen once in every 10 years. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure, and we get a little complicated, right? What is redistricting? In 10 years, not ever what's going on here. Here's the bigger picture as I see it. Normally, a party in power would run on their record to try to stay in power in the next election. That's not what's happening here. If you look at what Donald Trump and his Republican majorities in Congress have done, gutting Medicare, nutrition assistance programs for the elderly, for children, all to underwrite tax breaks for billionaires, they're running away from their record, and their only way to maintain the majorities in the midterm elections next year is to rig it before it even begins. So Donald Trump calls Governor Abbott in Texas and 5 more Republican seats. Kind of like when he called the Secretary of State in Georgia and said, find me 11,000 more votes. Because of what's at stake, because of the overreach of this administration, Donald Trump is out of control. California, in my opinion, is rightfully responding by saying, well, we're going to put new maps before the voters to decide, do we adopt new congressional district boundaries for the next couple of elections? I think we should. So Prop 50 is on the ballot this November as a check against a Trump administration that's out of control.
We're running out of time, but before I let you go here, there's been rumors perhaps you might run for governor in 2026. How do you respond to that in a couple seconds?
Who are your sources?
Oh, yeah, right here.
Look, I appreciate the question. It's something that people have asked me to think about, and I will in short order, but right now my primary focus is on Proposition 50. But yes, I love California. California is my home, including the beautiful beaches here in San Diego.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very
Senator
much.
Padilla, thank you so much for your time.